Hari Om, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Timeless Philosophy. Before we start, I want to humbly thank the Masters beyond time for guiding me to the truth through this knowledge, and thank you to my mother for the greatest blessing called life. Now let's jump to it. Today's episode is on the word yoga. Yoga is an ancient science that originates from Hinduism during ancient India. Though very complex, yoga can simply be described as the path of taking an individual woman or man to the inner state of total perfection and bliss, what Hindus today call Satchit Anand. Unfortunately, many have come to misunderstand yoga for asanas, which are physical stretches of the body that keeps oneself healthy. Though important for health, it is a very small fraction of what yoga truly is. Just think of it as only the tip of the iceberg, which makes it exciting because there is so much more to learn. Now, the word yoga means to join, originating from its Sanskrit root yuj, which raises the immediate question, what exactly is this science joining together? And if I practice yoga, what is yoga joining me to? In Vedic philosophy, Hinduism, it is understood that there is a universal consciousness that is said to be the foundation to all existence. The name of this higher consciousness, or God state, is called Atman. And, according to the philosophy, the goal of life is to not only see this universal consciousness in all things, but realize we are this state of consciousness. This is what is meant by the word enlightenment, or its original Sanskrit name, moksha. So the purpose of yoga is to take our individual self/soul, called jiva, and join it to the pure infinite bliss and happiness Atman, known as God. So the path of yoga leads to moksha. The concept is similar to a raindrop hitting the ocean waters. During the fall, it believes itself to be independent and separate. However, the moment it touches the ocean, it doesn't disappear, but becomes the very ocean itself. So the ocean is Atman, and the jiva is the raindrop. The journey is yoga. That might be a nice analogy, but it raises the next question. If we are actually Atman, then why do we believe ourselves to be this individual? What is causing this sense of separation? The answer is the mind, which is made up of the ego. When the mind is agitated, it becomes full of hatred, greed, and other flaws, building the wall up. And the more we identify with it, the wall of separation becomes thicker/bigger. This wall is only made up of the ego and creates the great illusion we Hindus call Maya, where Hinduism says all pain and sorrow exists. So yoga is all about calming the mind down to a quiet point, where one then starts to remove the ego and begins to realize they are this universal consciousness, ultimately merging into this one truth Atman, by shattering the illusion of Maya, where one then lives in infinite peace and happiness. There, that one mingles in the world spreading unconditional love, because she or he has gone beyond desire and sees that one in everyone/thing. This is the goal of yoga. Now, it is very important to understand that there are many different types of yoga. Different paths exist to suit whatever you, the individual, needs or prefers. For example, Jnana Yoga is knowledge of the philosophical scriptures, such as the Upanishads. Raja Yoga is the king of yoga, which is the journey of the Kundalini. Karma Yoga is learning to selflessly work by living for others. Bhakti Yoga is devotion to God and surrendering all thoughts to her or him, and the list goes on. It is also very important to understand that as one gets closer to the truth, these paths begin to merge, because all action with the right intention is yoga. The reason for so many different types of yoga is everyone learns differently. This is your life. Have the freedom to explore and learn. Even though yoga brings us all to that one truth, Atman, the journey there has infinite paths. So no one way is better than another, because ultimately, we are one. Now that's timeless. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out Timeless on other platforms linked in the description below. Stay tuned for future episodes. Take care, and remember, be happy.